Of football that you're obviously coming up here with what we call the match preview right about now. And as you see the title, Trossard and Bukayo Saka start. You can as well go into the live chat and really vote for the team that you feel like is gonna win this game of football and obviously take it home. Welcome to this channel. Smash the like button, comment and share. For totally watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that I do upload in here on a daily. And it's always a nice time to be talking to you because you guys are really great and you're gonna hit to do a lot for the growth of this channel to an extent that we are soon hitting 19,000 subscribers before the end of the year. It looks like 20,000 won't be really a milestone that we're going to hit, but let's continue to obviously subscribe and see to it that before this year ends, we're gonna hit to get 19,000 subscribers. Maybe, you never know, we might hit 20 in the first week of January. But Mikel Arteta is gonna hate to really name his starting 11 in here, and we're here to obviously discuss something about it, fresh, just in, and we're here to see to it that who is going to really bottle this game, who is really going to do diabolical stuffs in there for you, which team is going to strike balance in between its attack and midfield and defense to see to it that everything really goes on as to plan. The Lord God knows better. That's why we all go to the Lord God and say, we thank God for the gift of life. And for the Muslims, Barak Lahu Fikum, and let's get straight into the confirmed starting 11s for these teams that are going to really tussle it out at the Emirates tonight. We start off with David Raya, Ben White, Williams Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, Zinchenko, Rice, Odegaard, Trossard, Saka, and Gabriel Jesus, plus Gabriel Martinelli. That is the starting 11 of Arsenal. You get? That is the starting 11 of Arsenal. Then we go to the substitutes: Aaron Ramsdale, Cedric Soares, Jakub Kiwior, Jorginho, Santos, El Nini, Nwaneri, Emily Smith-Rowe, Nelson, that is Reece Nelson, and Edin Ketia. That is the bench of Arsenal, and that is the bench that the manager is going to hit to name to see it, obviously tussle it out with the side of West Ham. We go to the West Ham side, and they're having the following players in their starting 11: Ariola, Kofo, Ogbonna, Mavropanos, Emerson, Alvarez, Shushek, Paqueta, Kudos, Ward-Prowse, and Gerard Bowen. That is the starting 11 of West Ham United as they take on Arsenal. Then the substitutes are Fabianski, formerly at Arsenal, Johnston, Croswell, Fornells, Cornet, Danny Ings, Benrahma, Kahela, and Mubama. That is the starting 11 and the substitutes of the side called West Ham, and that is their army they've gonna hit to obviously unleash to obviously come on and really take on Arsenal. Big game, London derby. Don't forget that it's a London derby that most of you are really eagerly waiting to see how these two teams are obviously going to progress. But we all know that every manager names the starting 11 with the formation, and let's see how these teams are obviously gonna stand according to how their manager's plan is gonna be like. So when you look at the starting 11 of Arsenal, the system has always been a 4-3-3. David Raya still in goal for Arsenal. The last Premier League game they played for Arsenal, it was a 1-1 draw away at Liverpool. He had nothing to do in that entire game because he was shielded very well by the back four. If it was not by Zinchenko, if it was not the Zinchenko's mistake that went ahead to do, even Liverpool would have gone ahead to win that game by 1-0. So that is David Raya in between the stitches for the side of Arsenal, and it's going to be another day where he's not going to have a lot of things to do. But the few times West Ham are going to approach him, he needs to obviously operate to his full pelt. Then the right back is Benjamin White. Benjamin White, good player, and against Liverpool, I like the way he really closed down Diaz. That is it, because if anyone reminds you and tells you that Diaz played some good minutes in that game of Liverpool, do you really accept? Because he had no impact. He had no impact. And for 2 consecutive games against Arsenal and Man United, he was closed down by the right backs of those teams respectively. Diego Della of Man United closed him down very well, and Benjamin White went ahead to pocket him on the day. Meaning that Benjamin White is really learning how to pocket players, especially onto the wide side of the pitch towards the touchline, because Luis Diaz is one of those players that you would obviously bet on really being a threat to any right back. But facing 2 right backs of big teams in the league, he couldn't go past any of those, and that that makes us send kudos to Benjamin White, and he really deserves them, because when you do good, you deserve to be really appreciated, and when you do bad, you deserve to obviously be really slated. And this time around, Benjamin White walked away with the hails and the howls, but right now he's gonna face another player that is really good when it comes to playing that game. Zinchenko, having gone ahead to obviously cost Arsenal the goal that Mohamed Salah scored against them, he faces another guy known as Mohamed Kudus. It's another big test for Zinchenko, guys. Huge test for him. He needs to obviously show us that he's really grown and he can obviously see himself really doing a lot. And trust me, they are going to target him a lot. You are going to see very many long balls that side. Gerard Bowen is going to really surge onto that side. Mohamed Kudus will be that side, and very many others. They're going to be playing onto that side a lot because they know it's one of the weakest outlets of Arsenal, if at all you really want to obviously haunt them. And for any team targeting, this guy will obviously gain something positive at all. The only time, all 2 times they beat him, they obviously make their chances effective. And that calls in for Zinchenko to be having a very good game today, because they are going to really target him. But we all know that it doesn't end there. It also has to see the likes of Gabriel Magalhaes being played as the left-sided centre-back, coming through and obviously defend this space you see here, like he did against Liverpool, though he arrived late. But trust me, he had gone ahead to read the game very well, because he knew that Zinchenko was going to be sat down or skipped past by Mohamed Salah. So if Zinchenko is here, Gabriel Magalhaes' brain has to be looking at this entire area. Then Declan Rice has to switch a little bit and really play into this position as a centre back. Odegaard, Trossard drop back in here to really make these people really do the needful, because Zinchenko is going to be one of those outlets that they might really utilize. For Benjamin White, he's going to really do his job alone. He can really do his job alone. But for Zinchenko, with Mohamed Kudus, 6 goals in the Premier League, you need to obviously put respect to his name, and he's on fire. He just went ahead to score a brace before he went ahead to face Manchester United, and he scored 1. So he's a very deadly guy. And he's good on both feet when it comes to obviously shooting at goal of the opponent. So Zinchenko is going to have another long night, and he needs to obviously be good, especially defensively. Going forward, I have no problem with him. He inverts good into these midfield areas, and he rarely loses the ball, and he passes very well. He also occupies this line and makes the runs. So Zinchenko is obviously doing great, and I think he's really missing a little bit of the Granit Xhaka cover-up that he had last season, because last season you never saw Zinchenko exposed a lot. Why? Every time he inverted into the midfield, what Xhaka did was to obviously go wide and turn into a left back, because Zinchenko is very good and he can express himself with the ball in tight areas of the pitch, and Xhaka used to obviously go this side. But right now, no one can obviously cover him up. I don't think that Trossard will do it, or Rice. So he has to know that things are not going on as to plan, so he needs to obviously have a very good game reading onto the day. That is none other than Zinchenko as the left back. When we go to the midfield, Arsenal really having Declan Rice. Remember, it's the very first time he's playing against West Ham in the Premier League. We all understand that. They brought him on when Arsenal was being knocked out of the Carabao Cup by Tottenham Hotspur, and he did the needful. You remember that very well. But right now, it's gonna be something very important for this guy who is really doing wonders, and he's one of the best signings of the season in all Premier League game teams. Rice and Szoboszlai, to me, they look like the best signings of the season to me. That's how they look, and they're really good players, and they're really putting in a good shift. So I really love everything they do. But today, Declan Rice is facing his former team that he captained for some good years, and he is really one of those players that is going to hate obviously be missed at West Ham. But West Ham have going to hate to bring in other players to really do his job. The Edson Alvarez's, Ward-Prowse, and very many others that are trying to put up a show. Then Trossard has come in for Kai Havertz. I really saw this coming. I never saw Jorginho come into this game of us into this team of Arsenal, because the moment I saw Arteta not playing Jorginho in the midfield three when they're playing against Liverpool at Anfield, I got to know that he's not willing to play a double pivot or a set of two defensive midfielders. Sorry about that. Even though he's playing a very big team, he went in for Kai Havertz, Declan Rice, and Odegaard. And today, Trossard came in through to start into that position of Kai Havertz. Now, this is where you really thank God that Arsenal brought in Trossard, and he's really doing wonders at the club of Arsenal. Look at what he's doing. This guy is unreal. He plays in the midfield. He plays as a false number 9. He can play as a left forward. He can play as a right forward. He really has a lot to offer. He really has a lot to offer. And he's really one of those players that you'll ever and always want to see to it that you see him play and maraud into that area, because the way he puts up his performances, no one can come close to him. He's really one of those players that has a lot. He's a versatile player, press resistant. He scores you goals, a line breaking pass, and he is really hardworking, very hardworking at the side of Arsenal. Martin Odegaard in the mix. He's really back to the Martin Odegaard we knew. You saw it well in the previous 3 games that was going to play for Arsenal, and when you look at his season, it's really going on as planned. When you look at Martin Odegaard, let me check a little bit here. Odegaard, Martin. He has gone ahead to score a couple of goals, by the way. If you never knew, in the Premier League, Martin Odegaard has 4 goals in 15 matches and 3 assists. Those are 7 goals. Then he has 2 goals in the Champions League and 1 goal in the EFL Cup, meaning that in 15, 20, in 22 games, Martin Odegaard has 7 goals and 3 assists. So he's averaging a goal or an assist per game. That is Martin Odegaard for you, and a lot more is yet for him to come in through and really show up. Remember, there are certain games he missed out because he was really injured, and that's why you really anticipate for the best of this guy, Martin Odegaard. And that midfield 3 of Arsenal is very deadly. With the Trossard and Odegaard doing that job, they are obviously going to create a lot of chances. And today, you're going to see to it that the forward of Arsenal might really get in very many chances. And it's going to be up to Gabriel Jesus to either score or not score. Saka, right forward, obviously, very, very dull when he was playing the game of Liverpool. But we really appreciated the energy that he went ahead to put up. We appreciated the energy he went ahead to put up. And today, we need to see him do the needful. For the players going ahead to score, I think, is it 6 goals? Let me see for Saka. Saka's going ahead to play 17 games in the Premier League. He's going ahead to score 5 goals and 6 assists. So today, we need to see him really get another goal and an assist, because I want to see Bukayo Saka get 20 goals and maybe 15 assists in the Premier League only. That is it. In the Premier League only, Saka has to score those 20 goals if he is to really make that statement that I'm now 22, I'm beyond what you guys think I'm supposed not to be. So he should silence the haters. And how do you silence the haters? By really coming up and really doing the needful in such games. Then Gabriel Martinelli, left forward. To me, him and Zinchenko were the worst players on the field of play when Arsenal was taking on Liverpool. And I've seen very many Arsenal bloggers and Robbie of AFTV calling out for the manager of Arsenal to drop Martinelli. Obviously, he never really had a very good game. And when one says that they want him to be dropped, I think they have a very better sounding reason, as every player is as good as his previous 90 minutes. That is it. So let's wait and see how that pans out, whether today can exonerate himself from all the criticism he got in the game of Liverpool. Gabriel Jesus, as usual, for me, I trust him. I believe in him. And I've always gone ahead to tell Arsenal fans that does he get the chances as other number 9s were really comparing him all you need is simple. Get him onto the ball, create those chances, and he'll obviously get you to where he deserves to be. That's why Gary Neville came out and really said that there is a disjoint in the front 3 of Arsenal. And he's right, because they are not really working, in unison, So they need to obviously find a little bit of composure and find out for their number 9. And Arteta should issue out a very huge statement to these players that I brought you a number 9 that you guys have to feed, and feed Gabriel Jesus, you know. I remember that order was issued by Sir Alex Ferguson at Man United when Man United went to Arsenal and really signed this guy. The guy is Robin van Persie. He told Paul Scholes, Michael Carrick, Ryan Giggs, and everyone, nannies of this world, that Wayne Rooney, you have to look for one player, and that one player is none other than Robin van Persie. So they should really look up for this guy and create lots of chances for him, because if you do, he'll really score you goals, you know? He'll really score you goals. Even if it's Edin Ketia, you've seen him this season, that the more times they've got him on the ball, Edin Ketia has been really a threat. That's why I was going to hate to score, I think, 5 goals in the league, though he's coming off the bench most of the times. It shows you his quality and what he obviously offers onto the field of play, and that is none other than Nketiah. So they need to obviously create more chances for their number 9, but I believe this Arsenal side is going to really destroy this side of West Ham, unless otherwise Arsenal gets chances and they don't really kill them off, and when West Ham gets theirs, they kill them off. But it's an Arsenal win written all over this game, as I told you in the match preview, and you're going to hate to see that the predicted starting 11 that I really went ahead to come up with is the exact starting 11 that the manager of Arsenal is going to hate to come up with to really do this job. And it's really looking nice. I anticipate it's going to do wonders onto this game of play. Let's go to West Ham and see how they've gone ahead to obviously line up as a team, as you smash the like button close to the number of times that you should be, because we are having 60 people watching in through and only 16 have gone ahead to smash the like button. Smash the like button to 60, guys. Let's smash it to 60 times as we really discuss things concerning this encounter. Then we are having Areola in goal. Kofo is going to play as a right back, meaning that he's going to be facing Martinelli. And Martinelli has to do the needful and really sit down this guy. He has to sit him down because he needs to do the needful. I've always gone ahead and said that Martinelli this season has turned out to be a very predictable player. Every time he runs to the byline, but every time you do that, you are making the job of the defender easy because he can easily close you down the byline. When are we going to see Martinelli really chopping inside, you know, like going in for those chop backs? We need to see him going in for a 1-2, you know, touch with maybe Odegaard or Zinchenko, and really cuts inside very well. So Kofo is the right back of West Ham. Emerson is the left back of West Ham, and he's going to face Bukayo Saka, and Bukayo Saka might skin him to death today. Then Ogbonna playing on the left side of the central defense. Mavropanos, former at Arsenal, playing into the central defense on the right side of the central defense. Then Schuchek and Alvarez are playing the double pivot. That is really very, very important that these two are really playing the double pivot, and they've gone ahead to find themselves in a position of really doing that job. They are really good midfield, especially Edson Alvarez. He's really a midfielder that Borussia Dortmund wanted, Chelsea wanted him, and very many other big teams wanted to sign him, but he ended up at West Ham. He's the replacement of Declan Rice, by the way. He's the replacement of Declan Rice that was put into the Declan Rice position to get in and really get the jobs done and dusted. Ward-Prowse playing as a central attack midfielder, and this guy, I told you in the match preview that Arsenal should really look a lot on him when it comes to set pieces. So even when we talk about set pieces, it also depends on which areas Arsenal concede fouls, because if you concede a foul at the 18-yard box area, you are increasing the chances of James Ward-Prowse to obviously hit you. Even he has these inviting balls that he puts in through in the 18-yard box or in the mixer. So Arsenal should really look up onto that and not really create such damages in there. Then Mohamed Kudus. I repeat the name. Mohamed Kudus. Zinchenko is going to have a long night. I know West Ham aren't going to be having lion's share of the possession, but we all know that they are good when they hit you on the break. And look at this guy. What West Ham have gonna hate to do this time round, they've gonna hate to kill off this wing. It's not operating. You know, what they do is get Lucas Paqueta. Come here, because he inverts. He doesn't really play wide. When he gets this ball, he inverts in here and creates a chance for either Bowen or Muhammad Kudus. So Muhammad Kudus, when he runs here, he comes here and they play as two forwards with Gerard Bowen, you know. Then this midfield moves up here, and then they join this Ward-Prowse guy to have a three-man midfield. Lucas Paqueta also joins here, and in the attack they are always like a 4-3-3. You get? That's what they do. And Ward-Prowse, when they lose the ball, runs here, you know, to close down here, and Shushek provides security here. And you're going to see very many times when Shushek is really trying to stop Bukayo Saka. You know, he's going to be defending this side because Lucas Paqueta is playing as a midfielder. He inverts in here. If at all you watch the game of Man United, you can easily understand what I'm talking about. When you're playing, when my team that I support, Man United, was playing against West Ham, the 2 goals that we conceded is because of one man, Lucas Paqueta, releasing Gerard Bowen and releasing Muhammad Kudus. Although I think it's going to be hard for him to obviously get those passes like he did against Manchester United, because Scott McTominay just gave him space to operate and really had that time to really prepare himself and really find a pass for Muhammad Kudus and Gerard Bowen, something I don't believe Arsenal will obviously really get. But let's talk about Gerard Bowen. Man on fire, 11 goals in like, is it 17 games? He's really on fire, and unless otherwise, maybe they're being hit on the break, but I don't think that it's going to sit down Gabriel Magalhaes and Saliba. But all in all, you don't underestimate a team like West Ham. They can come through and obviously cause a lot of havoc. They're not having Kat Zuma, something that Arsenal should capitalize on. But in this game, I see a Trossard goal, I see a Gabriel Jesus goal, I see a Martin Odegaard goal. That is it. I really feel that those goals are going to come in through and go in immediately for the side of West Ham, because Arsenal is going to come in through with a plan to always get ahead, and after getting ahead they open up West Ham, because when you open up West Ham, it's not going to obviously sit back forever like Arsenal did against Liverpool. Like Liverpool did against West Ham when they're knocking them out of the Carabao Cup. Liverpool went ahead to get the first goal, they even got the second one, and now West Ham opens up. In opening up, they swallowed more 3 to make it 5-1. You know, so that's exactly what Arsenal's plan is going to be, and the plan of West Ham is going to be, let's sit back a little bit. Joseph Paul, it's a tough one. Not all that a tough game. What's going to make this game a tough one if at all Arsenal doesn't kill off the chances they get on time. That is it. If Arsenal get their chances on time, then no one is going to stop them. That's how the game is going to turn into being hard. But if they continue to do the needful and really get themselves going, and they're really rampant, no way West Ham is really killing off this game. Then Kahendo Oliver, Aradi Arteta is the one to blame. Maybe he doesn't tell them to put up a lot of crosses. It's not all about crosses. It's about finding your number 9. You get? It's about finding your number 9. Do you know that Jesus drops deep because he doesn't get the ball? I really saw one of the pundits, was it on Talk Sport, Sky Sport, blaming Jesus to obviously not being in the box. But that mobility that he puts up makes these other players better, and he moves like that because he doesn't expect them to obviously bring him the ball. That is it. Do you think that Jesus would have gone ahead to be moving left, right, and center, you know, with high mobility, if at all he really had all that at his disposal? No. So they need to obviously feed him, and the more they feed him, he will really stay on the focal forward position. Then Kitagana Henry, thanks RD, thank you for watching through, and it's always nice having you onto this channel, and thank you for always keeping it this channel. And this is the Rokani Media Football. So I've gone ahead to see close to 80 votes in, people voting in through for who they think is going to really come up and obviously lift up this game and collect the 3 points. But remember, Arsenal has always gone ahead to obviously be one of those teams that have gone ahead to be having a lot to do today. Why? Liverpool is top of the league with 42 points, and Arsenal are really having 40. If Arsenal wins today, they go on top of the league again. You know, Man City won yesterday. I think I should flash that league table to you and really see it. Man City won yesterday, and they're having 47 points, right? So Arsenal needs to go ahead and obviously win today to see to it that they take everything to where it deserves to be by getting to where they belong on top of the table. A little bit of pressure is going to be on them, but I think they cannot succumb to that pressure. They'll obviously go past what that team is obviously putting onto their tables. Alal Dickens, I see a 3-1 in favor of Arsenal, all right? I also called for a 3-1 win for the club of Arsenal. And let's go here and see how is the Premier League table looking and why is it important for Arsenal to win this game of football. Let's do a little bit of this table in here for you. All right, so as you see on the table, Liverpool is having 42 points. They're going to have to play one more game than Arsenal. If Arsenal wins today, they go to 43 points. Aston Villa is at 39 and Man City is at 37, meaning that if Arsenal win this game, even if Man City win their game in hand, they'll be 3 points behind Arsenal. Tottenham Hotspur, they're having 36 points. Manchester United, 31 points. And West Ham are having 30 points. And that's why I want Arsenal to beat West Ham, because if West Ham is beaten, United will stay in its 6th position and West Ham will be 1 point behind Manchester United. Newcastle, 29 points. Brighton, 27 points. Chelsea, 19. I think Brighton might go to, is it 30? Because they are really winning their game. They've so far gone ahead to score 1 game. And as we talk about Brighton, by the way, let's talk about how that game of football really is standing. It's 1-0. It's 1-0 in favor of Brighton, and they've gone ahead to really score their first goal. And it's Jack Henswood who has gone ahead to score his first goal there for you. An academic graduate coming in from that side has gone ahead to obviously put that ball onto the back of the net. But how is Brighton standing? Staley, Hanswood, the right back, is the goal scorer. Igor, left back. Dunk and Van Heek in the central defense. Then Bilmo at the base of the diamond. And then Prog is playing on the wide right of on the right tip of the diamond. Then Milner, left tip of the diamond. Bounonte at the tip of the diamond. Then João Pedro and Danny Welbeck are really leading the line, and they're leading by 1-0 against Tottenham Hotspur, and that is the team that Brighton is going to have to field to face the side of Tottenham Hotspur. When we go to the side of Tottenham Hotspur, they are having Vicario in goal, very good goalkeeper. Pedro Porro, right back. Udogi, left back. Emerson, central defense with Davis. It's really shaky now because they're not having Van der Ven and Romero. You get? We had a story coming in through that maybe Christian Romero was obviously going to come in through and really play. I was surprised that a player who had a hamstring injury, how come he makes it fit into this game of football? And we've been shown the truth that that was a lie. He's out. Then Parmeter, Sarr and Højbjerg are playing into that double pivot. Remember, Yefis Bissouma is out and looks like he's not gonna return. You know, he's not gonna return. He's not gonna return, and him not going to return means that that will be the end of his games. And if at all his team of Mali in the African Cup of Nations plays up to the quarterfinals, he might return to play in in February next year. That is it. Then Brian Johnson, right back. Kulusevski, central attack midfielder. Song Hyun-myun is playing as a left forward, and Richarlison is leading the line. But by the way, Richarlison is on fire, guys. Richarlison is really on fire and is doing a lot and is putting a lot on the table. So Brighton is really calling in for a penalty. That is it. Penalty call, and VAR is obviously going to review this and tell us whether it is genuine or not genuine. But when you look at the bench, Brighton are really having Verbruggen, then Mahmoud Daoud, Adam Lallana, Jakub Moda, Carlos Baleba, Evan Ferguson, Pavis Estupian. Oh, Estupian is back. Their left back is back. Benicio Baker and Luca Barrington. When you go to the side of Tottenham Hotspur, their bench has Brian Gill, Eric Dyer, Giovanni Lo Celso, Fraser Foster, Ashley Phillips, Alejo Velis, Iago Santiago, Jamie Daloni, and Alfie Dorrington. That is it coming in through from that team. And right now there is a penalty check. There is a penalty check by VAR that someone went ahead to obviously get hold of that ball. Oh, Kulusevski went ahead to pull Danny Welbeck. When he was going to hit that ball, he got hold of his shirt and obviously pulled him and really went down. Now, if this is given, it's gonna be really haunting and challenging for the side of Tottenham Hotspur, because if they went ahead to win today, they're going to gather 39 points. And the referee has been gone ahead to be called to see the side monitor onto that game, and let's see what he decides on that incident. Danny Welbeck, he was pulled as he tried to hit the ball. His back shirt was pulled by Kulusevski. This is a penalty. There is no way this is not given as a penalty. This is a penalty. João Pedro, one of the biggest penalty takers in the league, has got hold of the ball, and the referee is yet to make a decision in here. He's yet to make a decision, and João Pedro has gone ahead to obviously play 19 Premier League games. He has 5 goals. If at all he scores today, he would have gone ahead to make it 6. And in the UEFA Europa League, he has 6 goals also. So João Pedro, 23 years of age, Brazilian international. He's really one of those players that is really gonna really face this side. And they've gone ahead to point on the spot. And it's gonna be a yellow card issued, right? It has to be a yellow card. Let's wait and see whether this penalty goes in, and when it's in, we'll obviously call it out. Then City's Arsenal 2, West Ham 1. All right, thank you very much for watching through, but smash the like button, 50-50, right? Continue to smash the like button. And João Pedro is standing onto the penalty spot, and the referee has gone ahead to blow the whistle. João Pedro prepares himself to face the goalkeeper. Vicario, is he saving it? João Pedro makes it 2 for Tottenham, for Brighton, and it's 24 minutes round there, and it's now 2-0 in favor of Brighton. No one saw this coming. I've told you that Spurs are really a good team, but they lack the mentality to obviously coming through and do the needful. Like I told you against Aston Villa, that they're a team with a very upcoming squad, but that mentality is not built in one day. Rome wasn't built in one day. It takes a lot of time to build that mentality. I'm having David Sozi. Thanks, bro, for your updates and time. We are watching you live from Dubai. Thank you for watching it through my brother. Then you've gone ahead also to say something about this game of football. You are calling in for a 3-0 win for the side of Arsenal. All right. Rokani, Arsenal 3, West Ham 0. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. I sign out for now. See you later. We'll return with the match reaction. The game of football is done and dusted. May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokan David is my name. We sign out for now. See you later. The Muslim.